In this episode, we'll learn more about details in landscape and city design. We will learn details about pergola or porch, fireplaces, and even tent structures, for us to draw and experience them together. First of all, let's draw pergola to see how we can draw it and how we can apply it in our sketchings. Pay attention. We will start drawing it in isometric perspective. First, we have a box here. And the box basically looks like this. If we consider four corners as columns, like this. And we can change the ceiling. For example, let's do it in the simplest way. Cross the lines, get the middle, go up, and we have a slope just like this. Send it inwards a little bit, and with a little hatching on the side, we can show the surface. So we were able to shape it inside a cube. We can consider this area as a sitting place, maybe inside a tent or outside it. Whatever we want. A place like this. Let's move this part a bit higher, and we have it just like that. This is the simplest way that we can draw a tent. We could use wooden materials or other type of material. And here, for example, instead of drawing it normally by using a surface, we can use a horizontal structure like this. That can be made with timber. Like this. And the section of these timbers can change and look like this. And we could repeat the same thing that we just did here in different angles or in different perspectives, like 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, or different areas. But the most important part is to understand the structure. This moves from below, and from here, same thing. We did a little mistake, but that's okay. Now let's check. We have the middle of that, so these are two for the bottom timber. Be patient and try to do it correctly, because if you do even one line wrong, the end result will not look as good as you want it to be. Something like this. And another parallel line at the bottom for the thickness. And the column goes down like that. On the other side as well. Parallel to it, on the other side, another one. And just like that, we were able to draw a pergola. Now, with the same technique, if you want to create a movement on the ceiling or draw a portico, let's see how that can happen. And I will try to draw them in different perspectives as well. First of all, we have a place like that, and this place is rotating on top of a half a circle. So first we need to draw half of an orb here. Like this part, we connect them, and like that. And here we have the middle area, which we need to connect it by lines to the outer lines, like this. So 2 lines, like this, one after another. And it happened like this. And give it some height. And you need to repeat it for each one of them. And draw the bottom line like this as well. Here as well. And next to it, again, underneath this area, we need to draw a line like this. Exactly like this. Give it some thickness, bring down the structure, like this. And here our vertical column, and here the same thing. Same thing at the back as well. And remember, we need to have 2 of these bars or columns, because one cannot hold this structure. Another bar again needs to pass through the bottom side as well, like this. And try to do it correctly and be patient. And because I'm doing it fast here, it's not super accurate, but we have it anyway like this. And in the middle we can create an area that they can see it. I will also do it in point perspective to see how it can happen. To see how the end result will be. And we have this, a fireplace in the middle. Can happen as well. Like that. By adding a little color, we can give it more life. I'm not gonna do it more complicated, and I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it, but just to show it a little bit. We can use a color like 114 to show the wooden color of these structures. Like that. Maybe we won't do everywhere, but on some part of these wooden areas, we can add it so they can be seen better. And these just happen with the simple movement and simple lines. And same thing can happen with cloth or a tent, which means we have a structure here which looks like this. Repeat the same thing next to it as well. And from this side we could have the same thing underneath it or on top of it or even inside it. And pay attention, we divide it here like this. And we have the surface. We bring down this leg and that's it. Now let's add a very simple color on it, like for example serious, and this area, to show the structure better and to show the tense feeling of it. If you like, you can add some brown for the wooden texture on it as well, and we can leave it as it is. Now let's move to the next paper to see what can happen there. I want to design this in another way and rotate it inside our space. But this time we will use 1-point perspective for it. So inside 1-point perspective, we want to design a path which is covered like this. So we have a vanishing point here, a horizontal line here, and an angle like that. In order to have it correctly, if we have these two close to each other, we need to connect the diameter to get the next one. And again, repeat the same thing to divide and to get the middles. Another curve here, and another one opposite on this side. If you want to give it a little thickness, we can send it inwards or outwards. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna try to do it middle to the middle. And we have one in the middle like that, and another one here. And as you can see, the middle part is playing with the other one, and here is rotating around this one. So when we are using it, we connect the lines to this middle point. Double lines, one after another. And these are in this direction. And from here onwards are facing this way. Now let's give them a wall thickness. Bring it down. And it's better for all of them to be exactly the same height. Give a general height to all of them like this. Goes there and gets connected to the back area. And we can divide it like this again to see how it can be. And on the both sides, back and the front, because each one of them needs to be like this separately. One of the interesting parts is to use this for the ceiling. It's a little complicated, but I'm sure we can manage it. So here we show them one by one, all of the angles correctly, and we have this movement like this. And as for the legs and for the structure, we need to consider the height and show it like this. So this is the height for the stands of our structure, and the next one will be this much, and the third one will be that much. Now get the middle part here and like that. Get the middle, move it this much, and the stand will be that height. And when you have it, you can show the path on the bottom as well and connect it like that. and the stands next to it on the left and right. And between them, we can show the pathway underneath this structure. And here we need to show the pathway underneath it as well. And one of the ways that we can show the path underneath this structure is to add the color around it and show the grass. We could show the material of the path, or we could show around it. And super easily we were able to create a path like this, which got a movement just like this. It's not too bad if you add some color on the structure. We have it like this. I'm gonna do it very fast, but when you're doing it, try to be patient and do it correctly. We have this, and now next to it, we can add some plants and greenery, maybe some trees. And remember, we didn't do the structure underneath it as well, but it's okay. We can leave it as it is. And as you can see, we were able to represent this detail very good, and it looks very interesting. And we didn't do anything special. And just like that, we were able to design pergola and portico. Now let's design another pergola. Anything with the ceiling in a similar type like this can be a pergola. Now let's design another one in one-point perspective as well again. If we do it like that, it's like that we are inside it, but if we close it, it's like that we are standing outside. Let's increase the height of our figure because it shouldn't be that big. Now let's design two horizontal beams here with this thickness, like this. Send it to the vanishing point and it will look like this. And like this, we were able to draw this. Now, let's send these to the vanishing point. I'm gonna do it generally, but after that we can correct the lines. So we did these lines to the vanishing point, and now for the next one. And the next one, like this. And you need to do it for each one of them with patience. Vertical, like this, and close them horizontally. And send this line to the vanishing point again. Like that. And now we need to send the columns downwards like this from these areas. So it just created a space like this for us. And inside it we can send it downwards a bit to create an area for the people to sit. And in this side, if we have some stairs, we can add it as well. And just like that, we can use these simple techniques to get a result. Just like this. We can add some colors to show the structure better. So we did it like that, and here maybe we have a flame. And now next to it, let's draw a fireplace to help us show different ideas in our sketching. If we can insert a box in perspective, like this. And in this box, we connect the lines to the bottom like this. This is our chimney, and the back side darker. And this is our chimney. Next to it, we can have some greenery and plants, or some statue, or some places that people can sit. Very smooth and very natural. A general shape here. Sometimes you need to add these figures to show the scale of your design and to show what is happening inside your design. So details like this are very important, which when you're working and when you're designing, you should be able to create and to draw details like this in your sketching to be able to represent a better space. And these can help. A bit of color on these stones as well. Like this. And each one of these are showing specific things to you. And you can use them as a detail inside your design. And a collection of them will help your design to look better. Now let's move to the next one. To see if you want to design and draw a couple of simple porticos here, how they will look like. And remember, when we have a path, which for example if it's moving this way or even this way, any direction. And these could be one way to draw parallel perspective. So from any angle that we move upwards and connect it, we can create a portico like that. Add 2 more lines to it to give it a volume. And all of these depends on the angle and your taste. For example, now let's place it in this angle. Again, another one behind it. I'm gonna do a couple of them in different angles. Now again, in this side. And again in the same angle. So as you can see, if we use it in any angle that we want, it's the same story. On a curved path like that, it's the same story as well. And you just need to rotate with this path to have these. And one by one you need to rotate each one of these porticos. So like that, it's rotating. And as the path is rotating and these are rotating, you can change the thickness of them or change the shape of them. Now let's see what else we can do. Let's draw a couple of fireplace that we can use inside our designs. Let's imagine a space here, which is rotating around our fireplace. Get the middle, and this is approximately our fireplace. Go down vertically, connect them, and like that. Now let's see what we can do with this. This part goes inside a little bit. It rotates. And from this side, if you like, you can add a couple of stairs. Or maybe from the side with some more height. And what we should do here, we need to draw the seat. So here we have a sitting area, we can bring it here and draw it like that. The height here can come downwards. And one by one we need to draw stairs. Draw the landing by sending each one of them to the vanishing point. This one, same thing, needs to go down and gets connected. Now let's show the floor tiles to show the details better. And like this we can show our flooring. Now let's add some details to the back area. And on the sides as well. It can happen like this if we have trees in the back. We can draw it like this. This part, same thing. Maybe we can connect it to a fountain. Next to it, a couple of more plants. And as you can see, we're able to draw a very interesting sketching by using the least amount of details. Maybe let's use some green color on our greenery as well. Very pale. My marker was almost dried out. Let's use another one and make the left side darker. If you like, you can use white pen inside these in order to create better details. We can add a little color for the water as well. But before that, let's add some of this green on these trees as well. Now let's use a CG color. We use this for inner parts, but on top of it I want to use a brown color to create some wooden texture. And let's show the wooden material here. Just with a little color. And for our stairs as well. And this is almost a finished detail. If you want, we can add a couple of colors to show the background better. Now let's use blue color for this water. Now, an orange color for our fireplace. And as you can see, we're able to show what we wanted from this detail. And details like this, a sitting place, a fireplace, and stuff like this can happen just like that. And sometimes we have something like this, which we place chimneys in our yard. For example, if you have a place like this, let's get the box for our furniture first. Just too simple sofa. I don't want to make it too complicated. Just a small bench or an outdoor sofa. Which looks like this. And this for our ottoman. And here we can have a chimney inside a wall. We can add some hatchings to the back side as well. And some details next to it, like this. Let's work on the plants and the area around it, but this is almost finished. We just need to draw this and move it downward. We could create some water movement inside it, and this could be a very interesting perspective from an interior detail. We did it with one color, but as you can see, it already looks really good. And we were able to put a chimney in our yard or similar areas. A bit of color for our fire as well. But now, let's draw another fireplace. We did a couple of fireplaces, but one more example could help us as well. I'm gonna draw it inside our yard. And after this, we will draw some tent or some structure that uses cloth. So we have an area like this here, with a movement like that, and it goes back like that. This could happen in line with our vanishing point. If it's in line with the vanishing point, these lines are straight. And this part goes out like this. Let's do it more smoothly. Which I'm saying when I want to create some lines and create some movement to create some natural lines. A sitting area. And as we have this, which we try to do it with really natural lines. Here we can create a fireplace like this. And it can be connected from this side. And now, as we did this, let's give it more details and work on it. And this is a very fast sketching. You need to learn how to use these fast sketchings, because not everything needs to be super clean and extremely sharp. And you need to learn to do this type of detail very fast, like this. Like that. And now let's add a couple of trees in our background. Or maybe here as well. We can add more details to make the sketching even better. Now let's add a little color to see how it will look like. And as you're adding these colors, as you can see, we are able to show and understand the shapes and the volumes here much better. Now let's use CG number 3 to add denser highlights. Some colors like this to show the shape. Slowly and bit by bit we can show it just like that. Some colors on the floor as well. And by this we can show the softness. Let's add some warm color inside it for these areas. Now let's add some green color. Let's see what we have here. 231 should be fine. and the top part here as well. We could spend a lot of time to show the details better, but this is already good enough. We didn't show a lot of things inside this is sketching, but in general, this is showing our idea. Now, let's move to tent structure. And always remember, when you are using a box intended structure, you have a couple of corners. If you move the corners a little higher and connect them together, we can get another surface like that. And this is a structure for us. And if you move them more inside, this can be our first tent structure. Now if you want to draw that normally, two areas can go up, here and here. And like that, we can connect them. And these are our columns. This is the simplest way to do it. And here, if you see a surface like this, which they're connected to each other, we can bring this part higher. If you draw a circle, it can be connected to the other areas like that. And in the middle, it needs to have a slope like this. And this became a tent structure. And by adding some color, we can show them even better. So this was one type of structure. This is another type. We need to pay a lot of attention when we are putting these together. For example, if a structure is coming from one side, have a connection like this, bring it up, becomes like this, and like that. And now if you like, you can draw the corners. And this could become a tent just so easily. And as you can see, with the smallest amount of movement, we are creating tents like this. But one thing that you need to learn in these is changing axis and the movement of the line. Like this that we did just here. So very easily, we are drawing them like this. So all of this easily is happening by changing axes. And we can have a collection of them just like that next to each other. We can send one part upward or even remove one side. Look how interesting it's happening. And we did it on a polygon. Now let's imagine we are inside a perspective. Let's see how it can happen inside it. We did these inside isometric, but let's see how we can have the same thing inside perspective. So when I have a box like this, a little bigger, have a vanishing point and send the lines to the vanishing point. Here we send it upwards, and we can have this area like this. And after this, we need to connect it to the corners, to each one of them. And as we have these, it could even go lower than them. Let's connect them, and now let's draw the structure of it. So did you understand how interesting and how cool it happened? Very simple and easy. We were able to connect them to each other. Now let's do another sample to design something far more simpler. Even if you connect them like that and bring the middle up, a circle at the top, and like this. And from the middle, it gets connected as well. And this is a tent. Let's draw another sample of it. Or maybe let's explain the last one again to see what happened there. So we had this connected to the vanishing point. Draw the back line. We have that, and this is the upper part. Divide the middle and connect them to each other. So this is the base of our octagonal. And here, without doing anything, we can just connect them like that. Now, bring up the middle part, open it up a little bit, and from here, connect these lines. And this is another way to show tents. And if this happens from the side, for example, here we go to the side, and here like this. And it's the same thing here as well. You need to get the middle, connect the lines from here to here, and you can move these downwards a little bit. You can even bring them to the ground as well. So this one could come to here, and this one also as well. This one could go back up, bring the middle upward, and connect the lines to each corner. And as you can see, this is a very special structure. But in general, drawing them is only the matter of changing axes. So you need to master that and to see what is happening inside our volume in order to draw tents. If it was possible, I will try to draw more tents in the future updates that we'll add to this course to see how you can draw even more type of tent. Try to look at different type of tents, look them up, draw them, analyze them, and analyzing will help you to understand what this volume is made of. When you get to that level, you can create new things yourself.